Doctor, you did state before regarding the role of detoxification. Could you explain further its relationship in terms of good health and general well-being?
Sure, like we need to accept the fact the last 100 years we polluted our air, our soil, water, food and drink with about 150,000 new chemical compounds. Regular maintenance of the system, without this maintenance it's a losing task to trying to catch up with this army of compounds, because we're not carrying the genetic code to be able to cope with it. In 30 years, which is normally a generation, it's so many new things coming up and polluting our environment. It's just impossible task on a natural process to keep making antibodies against those pollutants. 100 years ago or even now, if you live out of the city in a bush and not mixing with urban living, you do have a chance. But in an urban living environment, you need a kind of walking stick to be able to get through this army of pollutants. By regular cleansing of the system can give that walking stick to the body to cope with the pollutant. Otherwise the large intestine clogs up, creating a toxic pool, and because the commercially produced food have to preserve and have to preserve very well. It's a common sense that preserved food, it's preserved in your digestive system as well, making an enormous task for the little belly to chop and cut it and distribute it and do all the things with the same length as 10,000 years ago. That is proven. People's digestive system in the last 80 years keep getting longer and longer and longer. Like between what type, it's a big difference. Like a lion have 4 meters of digestive system. So is a dog, but a dog who's fed on biscuits and vegetable, how you call it, dog biscuits. They're getting longer and longer and longer gut as they dying off, and they checked. It's those dogs who's kept on artificial vegetable diet. They're growing 2-3 meter longer digestive system than those who's eating meat. And that is because we're sort of half animal, at least our system works on the same principle. I have no reason to not believe that happens with humans as well. By having those toxic build-up in the large intestine, it's creating a no-win situation. The toxins gets into the bloodstream and the blood carries around in every cell in your body. And then it's called intoxemia, which is creating allergies and creating asthma and creating many other things. Like Australia is the highest in asthmatic malfunctions in the world.
Is there any particular reason for that? Or?
Well, as a researcher of the World Health Organization, I done quite a few studies about it, because the phenomenon is like Australia is one of the purest country on the world. We're not supposed to have, because people healthy here. good air and plenty of sunshine and plenty of good sea water. We're supposed to be the super country for health. What I'm seeing is the diet which creates the problem. The supermarket food gets into people's system who's not genetically designed for it yet. The slow space in Australia to catching up with the called Western world. It's good because at least we have 20 years to catch up with the chemicals and pollutions what Europe and America have. But the speed is still far too fast. People getting allergies. Asthma, in my opinion, is a type of allergic reaction for intoxemia. And for example, the type of barbecue-liking diet, which is the burned fat and the burned protein, it's very hard to digest and causing problems. Can create an asthmatic reaction. Even the baby who sucks mother's milk who had a baby. And that's where it starts. The large intestine is connected to the lungs, knowing from the Chinese who's telling us thousands of years. And it's easy to prove it because the lung, the only organ which can handle gas in the body, and what not coming out in a proper way from the large intestine, it backs up to the lung. Irritates the lung, which reacts to it and creating a defense mechanism, which is, for example, asthmatic reaction.